Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to be looking at EU top-down analysis. We're going to start from the monthly time frame all the way to the 2-hour time frame. And guys, let me give you this disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just doing this for educational purposes for those who want to learn how to analyze the markets. And if not, I am also doing this for entertainment purposes. This is not telling you to go into the market with your life money or whatsoever. This is just an opinion on how I'm looking at the market and how I trade the smart money concept. And I would like us to deep into forex. So let's look back on this to make it very interesting. So on previous data, we could see that the market was respecting the smart money concept. You can see from market tapped into it and how it has reacted to it very long, and then it turned into a resistance zone for the previous markets that we have. And right now you can see that at first we were in a very strong bullish momentum. You can see we are testing this market, trying to make new highs, but we're feeling and finally eventually broke to the low and made this our resistance zone, support and resistance. We came down, found a new resistance, came back and we found our old support or our old resistance. Okay, so over here actually was the support that was supposed to take us back to the upside, but we failed to make a new high, which would have been able to fill this imbalance right here. But so yes, price is still in a very strong resistance zone, and we are expecting price to either push lower to around these areas, and you can see how far we can be able to break this or even go much lower, tapping into other resistance, and we start going back to the downside up until we reach this areas right here on the monthly time frame. So you can see on the monthly time frame, there is something very interesting about this. You can see that the market was quite in an impulsive manner when you look at it. You can see from here we have a very strong impulsive move, came down, made this strong support, and then we went back up. I don't know, we met the resistance, came down, hit support level barely, went back, resistance, support. Now we started changing in trend. So you can see we started breaking structure from here. You can see from here, and then we have our nice order block right here, which price tapped in. We led back to the downside, tapping into our order block once again, mitigating, and then we went back up with this strong momentum. Okay, mitigating upon another order block which is around this area, and now we can see price managed to break this particular resistance zone that I was talking about previously, and it now turned this support and resistance zone around, it now turned a resistance zone for the monthly time frame on euro dollar. So you can see from here market is struggling to break, and several times it was not able, and now we are trying to see, this is one of the areas we are looking to take our positions on the 2-hour time frame as an intraday traders. So I want us to quickly look back into our analysis to see what the market has to give us. So as I said earlier on, this is our resistance area, and others look at this, they look at the highs and lows of the market, they look at the highs and lows of the market. But this is my advice on those who want to start trading in the forex market. You don't follow others' opinion, do what you think pleases you. I mean, what you think is a very good idea for you. So you can see when the market started pulling back to the upside, you see we had this nice shift, this nice retracement, then then we made a new high. Okay, and anytime you see the market making this retracement and a new high, you expect the market to either break or maybe come and tap into a demand area to continue making new highs, right? But in this case, the market did not actually make any demand area. It came and broke the previous low and now came back into tapping into this particular areas right here, and now we are trying to do what, to head back to the downside. So my views on euro dollar is actually bearish for the long run, because looking at the market in a very nice sight, you can see that the market was making a higher highs and higher lows, but eventually came down, broke the structure, started making resistance, and you can see for a long time it resisted for some time, then broke to the upside, and then made a little pullback. And you can see before market could feel its imbalance on the upper side, market met a very nice demand zone, which was a drop-based drop, and then broke the structure from there, went back and tapped into. So that's why now we are now ranging, struggling to break structure, and we are struggling to shift in structure as well. So we are waiting for the market to patiently give us a very nice entry as we look up to the next weekly outlook. So now, guys, we can see from here the market came down. When we go back to the weekly time frame, we can see the market has a very nice base drop. Let me just reset the chart quickly and show you what talking to you about. The market made a very nice base drop into the forex market. As you can see, from here we were moving very strongly. Now went back, made this little pullback, hitting this particular resistance zone, making it a very nice drop to the downside. And now we made this little area our rally, our base, which is actually something like drop, base, drop. Next, move on to see the market tapping into these areas, and now you see the market pumping back to the downside. So that is what the market actually reacted to from these areas. Let me actually use let me remove these drawings quickly and just highlight my drop area to show you what I'm actually talking about from here. So you can see this was actually this move, this supply area that I'm talking about. So you can see as the market came and hit that area, it just came and tapped into this area, and now you can see the market made a retracement back to the downside, tapping into these areas as well, and making it his resistance zone. Actually, making this area is actually a very nice Wyckoff theory that you guys can see. We have a preliminary supply on the weekly time frame, which is the PS. We have our PS right there, and we have so this we have our PS we have our PS from here, our selling climax, our automatic rally, our sign of strength, which is this particular week, our second test, which is two of them, our secondary test and then another secondary test. And then I have our test actually on this one. And then we made this our upthrust, that's the UT. And we came down making our new spring. Okay, this is now our spring because it has not been able to break, it has been able to break structure, grabbing liquidity that was lying in these areas, which I will represent with the dollar sign, and now went up, shifting in structure, moving to the upside. So you can see after the market moved to the upside, what do you see? You see the market leaving these particular areas as a very nice order block for us to enter this small order block right there. The market, after tapping into that order block, made a very nice rise to the upside, creating this rally, base rally, rally, base rally. Now this rally has turned into our main resistance that the market is struggling to break through. So you can see this area is now our support. It goes up and becomes our support. So the market has shifted in price, but it's struggling to break. So now we are looking at the market to pull back a little bit and see if it can give us our next break of structure, and then we can see how we look at the market back into these zones. The market has really given us another opportunity to look at upon these areas. So guys, you can see that if you know Wyckoff and you know order blocks and how to trade them, it is actually very simple for you to look at how price ranges and liquidity being cleared around these areas. Liquidity cleared around these areas, breaking highs and making a very nice run back to that. So if you are actually a pattern trader, you actually know that these areas around here will give you a nice risk to reward ratio. As you can see, the market has created this nice pattern, and pattern traders actually, maybe some has positions that are actually above here. I was once trading it. They are supposed to just be literally above here, a little bit smaller like this, and they are targeting all these lows, which is where smart money concept also target their entries. And you can see if you're a pattern trader, this shouldn't be something strange for you, because I actually know that as a pattern trader, this is not something really strange for me, because I have traded patterns, and anytime you see a clear break of structure, you want to see a retest. So I am saying this is just a retest, and now we are struggling to make nice move to the downside, creating this, making these areas our resistance zone, and now we push to the downside so nicely, tapping and then moving back to the upside once again. So guys, this is what I have on the weekly time frame. Let's quickly dive into the daily time frame and see what we have. So on the daily time frame is where we'll be able to identify how price has literally moved away from price as that tapped into that order block. Let me quickly go back and align that order block for you to see. And on the weekly time, so you can see from here, the market made a move to the upside and then made a pullback, a next move, and then pull back, breaking this particular structure. And you can see after this break of structure, price created imbalance. And now this imbalance is telling us that price has left the place where it needs to fill. And now let's take this as our order block. as we go back up again. As actually we look at this, so you can see from here, you can see this nice area as our resistance zone, as our order block, very nice and neat. And people might have positions on this particular areas. And yes, so this being our order block, let's go to the daily time frame. So in the daily time frame is where you actually see and know that that's literally a good area to trade. So now look at what is happening right here. So the market pulled back, made this, and then started slowing down. As I said, the Falcon traders, or actually pattern traders, will see this as a very nice place to take their entries. And you can see this nice move, making it a very slight area for them to get a very strong look, a very strong. They have even made their first entry triggers, and now you can see this. They might be looking at this as their next movement. So you can see we have this and this movements, and then they have this nice entry once again in these areas, then which led about coming to this particular demand wick that is inside of this. And now our price moved back. So the reason why price is failing to break this structure is because as price was coming down, it made this little pullback and then break structure. And now that's why where price came, tapped in, mitigated, and is now consolidating. And we are seeing if we can be able to break this and then make this fill this particular area before actually going to the downside. So that is what I have on the daily time frame. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, we are very bearish on EU actually for a very long term. And as I said earlier on, so on the 4-hour time frame, what we guys can see is as price has tapped below that particular area. Let me just highlight that area very quick. And so you can see that structure that broke, that's order block that broke structure is actually this particular one, but price has mitigated on it, and right now we are around these areas. This order block that broke the structure that took price back to the upside. You can see how it went up so strongly, and this is the price that broke this particular structure from here. And if I can show which became resistance, and this area too as well has now turned a very strong area for price. That is this area from here. If we see that price has mitigated on it several times but has not been able to break. So now what price is actually in a very is actually ranging now. We don't know what price might do, but what I do know is that price is giving us an opportunity to take our longs for the meantime before going short. Okay, so this is the area I'll be looking at. So let me actually take this ray. Let me put this ray. Sorry, I have a little bit of running nose that is stopping me. So now when we take this ray and go back to our previous market rise, so you can see the market has broken the order block right here, proving to us that it has created a liquidity that price need to come back and tap, but we don't know when and how price is coming back. Will it come back now, tapping and making new lows? That is what we don't know yet. So let's go to the daily time frame, 4 hour, 2 hour time frame to look at something. But before we go, you can see price has actually created this demand area, which is just this. Anytime you see price that we call this demand area a drop base rally, that actually takes price back to the upside. And I consider every demand area because anytime you see a strong push to upside, this becomes a very strong zone that price will mitigate. And now we have two demand areas, which is this and that. And we have other areas too that like this one's right here. We have this one, this very huge one that price has left. This one too as well, which has already been tapped. And also this one. There are a lot of them when you are going to look at them on the daily perspective. So you can see the last demand area I actually like price to tap before pushing to the downside is actually this one, and this is actually one of the last areas, just this one right here. It's one of the last areas that I would like price to come tapping into them. If price doesn't tap into one, it should tap into one and then wick the other. One of this should happen. And if price happen not to break there, then I wish price to go down, then tapping, making resistance and pushing back to the downside. But at this moment, I'm looking at price to tap into this, break the structure, moving back to these areas before actually making a new low, or maybe breaking. If it breaks, then I'll definitely look for my longs, probably grabbing the liquidities around these areas before coming down back to the down. But my overall movement on price is actually bearish on EU, and I have this liquidity line down that price has already tapped into. So price can just literally come and go up, come back and tap again, makes this strong move before dropping and then making another. You can see this becomes a new mitigation area that becomes a breaker block, and then you can draw your line this way to wait for price coming back there, taking confirmation entries, then making price back to the downside. So that's actually what I have on EU on the 4-hour time frame. So let me clear my charts, and now let's go to the clear direction I have on EU, specifically on this particular time frame. So now, when we go into Wyckoff, we have we actually have 4 types of accumulation and distribution, of 4 types of schematic. We have the my network is not all that strong, so bear with me. We have um, the accumulation, and let me clear this 3 things. We have the accumulation, distribution, and we have also the reaccumulation and the redistribution. Okay, so we have these 4 things, and you can see when Wyckoff started doing this. Let's make this 24 to actually be clear for us. Oh no, I didn't want this to come. Let's cancel this real quick, and I'll just give you a little bit of this. Okay, so now, so you can see Wyckoff was doing this. He let us to understand that the market moves in 4 ways. That is actually overbought and oversold, right? But there is one thing he didn't let us understand. When you look on his chart, he has one thing that you need to know. Price actually moves in waves, right? We have impulse correction. Some call this correction, some call this accumulation, some call this ranging market and all those stuffs. I was used to the correction. So now, so you can see as price goes into. So let me just bring back my RSI real quick. So you can see we have oversold, and so we have oversold right here, and we have overbought, right? We have overbought, which is just here. Okay, so now that you know we have oversold and overbought, there is something in between the oversold and overbought, which is this one. When it comes to the selling bias, it is called the redistribution. And when it comes to the buying bias, which is around this area, it is called the reaccumulation on the Wyckoff time frame. So on the Wyckoff time frame, we have a lot of schematics. We have a lot of things. You can find them on Google. You can just go and search Wyckoff accumulation, and you'll be able to understand how the market moves. The market moves in ways, actually, as I said. So now we are looking at the market to go this way. So now let's get back to the chart works. So now let's take what we have just learned so far. Sorry for taking you guys too long on this particular video, but I think it's worth it if you actually want to understand Wyckoff and trade as I do, or as the legends do, or how the if you want to know how the legends enter the markets. So now look at what we have here. We actually have the market making a nice squeeze to the downside. Okay, the pattern traders will look at this as a very nice opportunity, and well as me as well. You can see I had looked at this to be a very nice opportunity, because you can see as price did this, price just quickly did something like this and then went up, came back, and now we are looking at it to come back and tap into it. And you can see price is squeezing once again to come back into those areas. So you can see this is the area I am talking about, this particular order block that I want price to come and tap into and then move back to the upside. So that is my view on EU from a top-down analysis perspective, and from the monthly time frame all the way to the 2-hour time frame. I would have liked to dig into the 1 hour, but actually I personally think you should not do that yourself by refining your order blocks from how you have it, and you can refine order blocks. So I'll be bringing new videos every as time to time to show you guys what I look up to and how I look up to them. So now you can see on this area is our order block. I've not showed you how I've also refined it, because I'll be bringing a video about how to refine another block. So I would like price to tap here and then fill this imbalance, reaching this demand area, and if possible it breaks, fine. But if it doesn't, I'll take my profits or my partials and actually wait and see how the market behaves. Will the market come back, tap before moving back, or what's it? So guys, thank you guys for tuning into this video, as I am running time out, as you can see, and I'll see you in my next